How you doing? What's up, bro? How you doing? Awesome.
Samir Shamsud, TC3.
Damn, DC4 campus size.
Scott Morrow, Sheriff Consultant.
Joe.
Franco Bonhouse.
Shiraz, Steve Even.
Stu, TC3, TC7.
David TC7. Cheryl God. Cheryl Locker.
Okay, anybody else? Okay, we have background noise, so please speak up. A shout out if you're OFB downtown, everybody. City 3 numbers. Huh? 99. 99, okay. Maple Leaf. Woodland Park, Litchfield Rise, Courthouse Heights, you got numbers?
Okay, we got bars 2, openings 8, closures 0.
Okay, so it'd be 028. Okay, 1036.
93, 10, 184, back. 2 innocent reports.
DOG. Still alive. Okay, St. David.
0111.
0111. Okay, Bethany Lutheran. Still alive. New Lake. 75. 75 campers.
What's that?
75 campers.
Thank you.
Okay, St. Luke's. Anybody? St. John, anybody? CEC, anybody? Friends, anybody here? Your shelter? Okay. That's all. Let's see, 4 number 0250. 0250. And 1037. 20 people, no bars. Okay, thanks. Okay. Moving on, update. Storage lock is closing parts. Storage lock again.
Yeah, 7111. 7 bars, 1 day closed, 11 locked up.
Okay. Okay, Wheel report on Wednesday. W1 Women in Black and Billboard. Peter Campbell, 2. Robert 50. Wait.
It's an individual of about 8 of us all together, individual. For these 2 people who were shot to death in an informal camp down in Kent. The murders are still unsolved. There's a post from our Homeless Remembrance Project Facebook site in your packet about sort of how we felt about things and what we think about this fact. It's a long mistake. It's 37 homeless people dead outsiders on
At least 37 dead. I'm glad I'm not reported ministry under the legal sweepers. Nothing. Okay. Weekly real meeting, 1:30 on Monday, at Mary's Place, 1:30 in England. Real women shelter report on.
I'm sorry.
office. You heard from the 61. There's a 100,000 houses.
You're welcome.
The 60s again. Connections Women's Shelter converted them in this past Monday. Hasn't really slammed us yet, but it probably will. And crops are going okay. The people picky about how we need the space. And we only have another month. And you don't have another space to go to that's lined up. So that's big tough.
Okay, Office of Mayor's Project update. Nothing. Okay. Chair 2, number 10,000.
005.
Colin, 002. Brad. After power launch, Schuster, standing members. If you don't hand up yet.
Oh, screening for power lunch?
Yeah, you want to do the interview?
Yeah. Yes.
Put you down, Frank. Okay, what's your name? Frank. Okay. I'll be the third person, so we got it covered. We got Frank, me, and you. Okay, mandatory general guard committee setting again Wednesday. Mandatory general finance committee meeting Thursday. Schools have to verify
Dennis from Young.
Dennis Amon.
Yes. Young. I-O-N. Young.
So that's two. We need a third. Okay, what we need? Okay. We got one from TC5. We got three. Okay. Coffee appointment meeting, City Hall, 6 a.m. to 7 a.m. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Office reclamation meeting. Work through meeting this week. Grant writing committee meeting on Thursday, 9/1. Golf meeting Thursday and Friday, 9/2. Other? No others? Okay. Action items. Report for the government. Report from the last week. Movement on city county government. Communication. Other?
Can you hand me one of those, sir? Thank you.
Well, to start, a lot got done this week, including 4 letters about different things. So I'm asking folks to write the letters down, and if we don't like them, we'll just rip them up. But, it's going to take a while to sign them. So can we start that down, Mr. Chair? If we don't approve them all the way, just rip them up.
Okay.
There's 4 of them.
Yeah, try not to get food on them. Try to keep it. Okay.
So, as Joe reported to you last Saturday, the next step really is for the mayor to meet with the heads of Catholic Community Services. And we hoped that would happen last week, and it hasn't happened. Now there's a firm date for the meeting. It's Monday afternoon. And both Reichert and Halleman are set to meet with the mayor about this. Halleman has been talking to Michelle and I throughout the week, just tea leaf stuff. And basically, a lot of people are impatient for this to happen. The county people, represented by Adrian Quinn, keep emphasizing they want this to be done quickly, and they're putting $50,000 into the pot, as you can see, in your packet updates. $35,000 for us, and they're showing and sharing contracts with CCS of how well it would work. They're also talking about next year and about how we're going to operate next year. So it's not a 4-month that you're out deal from their perspective. A big surprise is that finally the City Human Services Department has started talking the same way. Not only are they talking about this year, and their amount is $60,000 to get us reopened in addition to our usual contracted amount. But besides that, they're talking about how the contracts will work next year. And they've admitted that even with all the crazy stuff they plan to do in the future, they're not planning to do that at the start of 2017. And they're naming real numbers of what they intend to fund this at that, are positive. So as far as our negotiations goes, they've also made clear, CCS, our Catholic Youth, our HSD, that until the mayor and Riker shake hands and do a couple choruses of Kumbaya, it's not a deal. That has to happen. So that, we're hoping, will happen Monday. If it doesn't happen, it means more delay for us. It'll be a big disappointment, and I'm confident that we won't just scatter and give up, but we'll stick together, because there's no reason why this kind of deal can't reconstitute itself without the mayor, quite frankly. But, we're optimistic about Monday. I'm just saying that, surprises happen, and even if things, go wonky on Monday, there's still ways to pull this thing back together. It's just a matter of time, which we'd rather get inside. So if things goes well Monday, then Tuesday the principals meet. The principals, and they are us, Share, and your central committee. I'd recommend would meet before that meeting, and they voted to send the people consistently been meeting to CCS to represent the community. That would be Stu Tanquist, Clint Crowder, and Jan Gordescu. So that would be Stu's, our representatives, Share's representatives. Catholic Community Services would be there, and the Seattle Human Services Department would be there, including their director, Catherine Lester, and then two people, including Adrian Quinn, the director of the Community Human Services for the county. And that group's job will be to shake hands on the specifics of the money you've heard me talking about, and a new twist that I just heard about yesterday that isn't important to me is that this new money, this $60,000 from the city, like the county's $50,000, it and the rest of the money we receive will go through CCS, who's becoming our trustee and fiscal agent anyway. It'll start day one going to CCS, so we won't have to try to retransfer that twice and again at the start of 2017 again. So those four entities, they would work out that stuff, and if they did, the intention of everybody is to have us inside within 5 days. Within 5 days. So that's sort of the walkthrough of what's happened in the last week. We haven't talked much with the hosts yet, except informally. You'll see in your packet, pretty early on, there's a letter that the dog folks prepared to the hosts yesterday that I suggest you approve. We're signing it right now, and it alerts them that we'll be reopening sometime around Labor Day. It tells us to call with more questions. So I suggest we get this sent out today, and that's why the dog group did it.
We need to vote on it, approve it.
Often it's healthier, people just nod their heads and it just sort of slides along, but often it's healthier to have a clear agreement. It's you guys' call how you want to do it.
Notifying the host, we're going to probably move in Second, you said, Labor Day, will be the 4th, right? So all those approving that, everybody approved that. No, we like to be fair. Okay. Okay, you're done talking with that, Carter? I'm gonna move on to negotiations, reaching the final sentence. Proposal, 50,000 for county, 35,000 for sheriff, 15,000 for case management, 60,000 from city folded into our existing contract, which be administered by CCS, which we just talked about. Case management this year and next, on shelter task force this year. 20% increase in city shelter funding in 2017, county funding in 2017, through RFP due 9/27. Michelle?
You've already passed your applications and settlement agreement. I just wanted to add that Scott's is saying, I have no principal concern at all with CCS assuming a shelter contract this year to accept the new money and disperse the old money from the contract. That's what's going on here. And I want to stress what he's saying about next year, feeling secure about next year. It's clear that the county's telegraphing that we do this RFP, right? And we do it collaboratively with CCS. They're going to expect to fund this. They're going to expect to fund this. That's what they're funding next year. And the city's also put on the table the expectation that they'll increase our core shelter funding contract by 20%, which is about $65,600 next year. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. That's what's on the table. In addition to what we're talking about to right here, right now. It doesn't quite take care of it. An issue I flagged with Bill Holliday, because I'm the money, the dollars and cents guy for a share, is you gotta go through that minimum wage increase, right? So that's about $25,000 to us this year. Less than that, really, considering all the staff we lost to this year. But still, it's a financial burden. And it's going to be about $26,000 in 2017 to raise everybody up $1 an hour. So I flagged it and said, look, in negotiations, we can't wiggle this. We need the 20%, the 65 cents, plus that 24 separately. Because otherwise it's just not going to be enough to get us through the year. And it's right on the edge. We got to keep pulling our weight in other ways. But yeah, 65, 600, minimum wage increase, maybe 50 or more from the county. We're good.
Do you think that's going to tear this down? Why are we only sitting in 60? This is supposed to be actually. That's about the over now. If I'm not mistaken. That's the no roof for no. That's what top. So I'm just disregarded out of this whole fucking thing. I'm saying 83,000. So that there's no stress. You know what I just saw. I know that I think in a these people right now, they got their day on the floor.
Point of order. Point of order.
So, I just seen him.
I don't know where the 82,000 came from. I have no idea. Do they have a security to deal with it? Okay, so we're gonna move on.
Fuck all your money. Nobody's getting a fucking thing. That's final. That is final.
Demons are angry.
Nothing.
Jesus.
Now she will get nothing.
Jesus,
And I
bless her
go to
heart.
my father's
Jesus.
house now.
The governor?
Yes.
Okay, maybe the mayor will show
Gonna
up.
be next.
Yeah, the president. Okay, so let's try to get back on track here. Okay, CCSW meeting with Mayor Murray Monday afternoon. Anybody? Scott already talked about that earlier. So. Okay, Sheriff Lehigh, CCSW, HSD County meeting 4:30 p.m. Tuesday. Anything on that? Nothing on that. Okay, reopening our shelter, question mark. Scott.
Well, do y'all want to say Labor Day or you want to say something else?
I'm fine with Labor Day. Oh, the Frank.
Motion Labor Day. Labor Day.
So why don't we write Labor Day as what the bid, write 9/5 in that.
I move we just make it Labor Day.
Okay. We have a second. All those in favor of the Okay, here we go. I've been speaking over the jackhammer. On the to-do list. We got the letter.
So is that letter okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Letter 1. Meeting with reopening groups for shelter community.
So if you look in your packet, the Central Committee and the dog group started, but did not finish some of the protocols for reopening. It says draft on top. There's about 10 points. 10 points.
Sonny, tell them to turn that off.
I try, you know.
Okay, meeting with reopening groups for shelter.
So it's sort of like, I think the idea is sort of like a reorganizing meeting. The people at the meeting are the ones going back that first night. People at the meeting are the ones going back that first night. And your central committee and dog group, will suggest those times, probably by Thursday or so, if this all works. Now, who's going to be at that meeting? What 20 people get into the meeting? What it says there on the draft is that first priority is for the people who are part of our community right now. In 6, in 7, in the bunkhouse, in Safe Haven. So that's what it says. TC6 and TC7 will be given priority. I've been reminded of a complication that I don't think is more than semantics, but it is a change. And that is, we've been telling people all along that, you know, if you left your shelter, you could come back with no penalty. And there's people, you know, who are around that aren't part of the community right now who left their shelter will be coming back. And frankly, if theoretically speaking, we say those people come behind folks who are here now, that's a contradiction. You know, that's a contradiction. We said everybody who went away can come back, no questions asked. But if other people are in front of them, you know, that's a contradiction. So my friendly suggestion, and this is, I think this is really semantics, because the first night meeting at the share office for St. John's isn't going to have 30 people at it, right? No matter what we say. So my friendly suggestion is that we add to number 1, participants of TC6 and TC7 will be given priority after those on that shelter's latest roster. After those on that shelter's most recent roster. So that if those guys are on the most recent roster, you know, we're honoring them coming back in just like we said.
Okay. So what you're saying is that people who were there before, they're on a roster, get the first, and then TC 67. People there. Yeah, that's like that.
I don't know.
So basically, you're motioning
I am motioning that we approve the change that Scott just read off, that participants in TC6 and TC7 will be given priority after those on that shelter's current, you know,
Most recent roster.
last current roster. I second that. I second it.
Okay, all those in favor, they raise their hand. Aye. All those opposed, anybody opposed? We have one opposed? Okay, so it's you got all that, Michelle?
So you can start telling people, we're hoping to open Labor Day. Don't miss that first meeting. That'll get posted. You know, if things work out on Monday, Tuesday, that'll get posted by Thursday or so. Don't miss that first meeting. And then after that, probably back to normal screenings and whatnot. There's others. Go ahead, Michelle.
It's just numerically, it's not gonna be worse. It does on our, right? Because we enters from the last annual lawsuit, are few and far between. So it's, we're all coming in. We're all getting coming in.
Okay, so moving on. Matt's bus tickets and other. Michelle.
Well, that's, you know, people that play the lottery, is that correct? And we don't have fungible funds yet. Vegas coming in from the county of first with the fungible agreement. We really do need There's sort of a new proposal today that's not in writing. Price different, numbers to order. And the turnaround. It's about 7 business days. We'd like to order on Monday. And 140 bats.
So did everybody hear that? Obviously not.
$1,000 will get us 140 bats.
8,000.
140.
So that's a proposal. Does somebody want to make a motion to?
I make a motion that, I make a motion to move forward with only spending,
Nobody opposing, so that would just be to buy $8,000 for the Okay, anything else?
Well,
About
you know, it feels so strange. Spending money but we gotta spend money this week also to buy bus tickets. Right. Right? For this excellent eventuality, and it looks like, you know, we'll be able even to purchase bus tickets like on Thursday or Friday. So
So she's working on that. She has that all planned out. Okay, good. So, okay. Yeah, anything else on that? Okay, well,
I just want to say, bus tickets before that, you gotta make sure we
well,
have.
like, yeah, go ahead.
well, the map people live in the buildings.
Yeah,
The bus ticket people, they need the money up front.
Right,
The map
yeah.
people bill us.
I got it.
Okay, moving on. Next reports, next up from homeless policy horizon. Okay, TC7,
TC7, not much to report. Numbers removal, trying to get people in to help us move up.
okay. Okay, the new homeless is ours. Anybody want to talk to Scott, you want to?
So this is another one of those letters in the packet. This one's shockingly friendly. It just says, "Hello, homelessness star. Come visit us. Learn from homeless people," basically. And the guy's got a lot of learning to do. He's never worked in shelters. You know, he's never been homeless as far as I know. He spent the last couple of years in China. Before that, he was working down in Olympia as a lobbyist. He's run a couple of political campaigns. The one thing he's done associated with homelessness, besides be a line worker at the old Fremont Public Association, is Standpoint Community Housing. He set up the transitional housing up there when they got converted from a military base to other things. That's the one thing he's done, you know, with homelessness before.
Whatever you want, what's your name?
George Scarola.
Oh, okay.
And we make 137,000 a year. Okay, it's basically no homeless from here. Okay, an anti-sweeps council ordinance. Anybody want to say anything about that? Go ahead.
Well, you know, we're on record as opposing sweeps on public land, and you know, whenever someone's threatened with being swept, we stick our, you know, face out there and say we oppose it. And as usual, the leadership of Real Change and the Coalition on the Homeless and ACLU ignored us as they put together a plan to do sweeps light, to improve the way the mayor's doing sweeps. And they dramatically announced it this week, and I'm sure it's much, much better than what the mayor wants to do and is doing. I'm sure it's much, much better. So both the Central Committee and the Dog Group yesterday, when presented with a note from a Real Change reporter, what you think about this. I had the same sort of an idea for a response. So that's in your packet too. You can read it and decide whether or not you want to use that response or something else. Someone else can read it if they want.
I'm willing to read it. Let me say that. Dear Ashley Archibald, thank you for asking for a comment. It is our feeling that the time for serious solicitation is during the active phase of meetings and not after. Being the largest independent shelter provider in the Northwest, with 26 years of experience and a clear position against sweeps on public land, it baffles us that we would not be asked to have a representative from their presence during the sweep discussion. None of the applicants who signed the letter even appear to be living in an out-of-state home with them. In quote and cap, nothing about us without us. Again, thank you sincerely.
Nothing else on this week.
That was one of the letters was around, I signed it. I move that we go ahead and send it.
Okay, so we have Bobby and so we just covered all of them in one time.
So, the heads of the social service agencies in town and the county got together with the Mucky Mucks yesterday and got the news about what the planning is with Poppy and whatnot. So she's coming back to town on Wednesday the 7th and doing her big announcements over at City Hall. And the day before then is when the All Homes people, the ones who are making homelessness rare brief at one time, they're doing their version of the same thing, which is, chop back on shelter and put a lot of money into coordinated entry and services besides shelter. They're doing their thing the day before, the 6th and the 7th. So that's the planning for that sort of PR blitz. And the amount of money that they plan to be shifting around in the next year from things like shelters to this other stuff is $15 million. $15 million from places like, the Compass Center shelters at First United Methodist and St. Martin's de Porres and the Well House and Share. $15 million.
Just to be clear on timing, it's not for 2017. An application process for next year's funding's same. It's 2018 that's at issue, and it's $15 million that they're talking about shifting out of shelter and into other stuff, right?
Paying developers.
Last thing about it is I heard that the folks who were at that meeting, the service providers, the money ones, hearing these recommendations, $15 million. The public reactions. They didn't say anything. Nobody said a word. Nobody said a word.
Once again, I think it's good that we're looking forward to 2018. Go through this again. Is that for real?
It's for real that they're talking about sucking 15 million away from shelter. It's not things. No way. It's not an increase. It's a decrease. It's a decrease. It's defunding shelter. Yes, it is.
Anything else on that? Nothing else on that, let's move on. Central committee meetings at office this week, we got time?
Well, my suggestion is everyone gets together at 2:30 on Tuesday, you know, with the negotiators and check in there, and then again, 9 o'clock on Friday.
2:32.
I think, I'm sorry, we didn't talk about this. They're gonna have to meet again on Wednesday or Thursday to set forth a schedule.
Okay, you guys rather do 9 o'clock Thursday morning?
Yeah, Tuesday instead of Tuesday.
9 o'clock Thursday's the prayer writing.
Well, 11 o'clock Thursday? 11 o'clock, okay? Thursday?
Okay.
It's for the Central Committee.
Yeah, but I is so that Tuesday, meeting 2:30 Tuesday and 11 o'clock on Thursday?
Well, it sounds like we have to sort out the second one. I suggested Friday, and now we're thinking of other options.
At 2:30 Tuesday is never.
So what's the second one? Just waiting for you guys to decide, I'm not involved with it. What's this? Any of the above?
They all work for me.
It sounds like we'll lose Gary. Can everyone else make it? 11 on Thursday?
Okay.
Sure, Lori will take thorough notes.
Okay, so you guys have everything settled on your time now? Okay, moving on, share infrastructure, cash flow report. Yeah.
Like this week, they don't want, Wednesday. And we'll see what happens. They're
Report on Tuesday meeting with CCS finance person to review system.
He's like the CFO for the county. He's not a foolish fellow that's been around in this world for 20 years ago. To see what has to stay in and be satisfied with the way our systems are set up. We didn't have significant feedback or suggestions for change. We got requests from him. We really need help very quickly to find a financial reviewer to finalize our fiscal review for this year and go over the work that went into prior fiscal reviews and Steve Isaacson. That goes double for having gotten what the cordial, what you out to type of letter from City Attorney Pete also fails. So we gotta keep pushing to get their help to select a financial reviewer, and he has some ideas. Bookkeeping system stuff, he's looking at our current records, might have a suggestion for a bookkeeper. And then we have to consult with him about a payroll matter that regards exempt employees. That's a change that goes into effect next year. That's some good advice for that too. So they're willing to both consult with us and help us with any systems needs we have.
Okay, bus ticket assessment, next steps, bus ticket spend down. Community? I don't know. Go ahead. Community.
So I guess Dawn wrote a draft letter responding to the bus ticket assessment, which had 7, you're in compliance, bullets, and 1, against bus tickets for protest. And I haven't had a chance to look at it. I'd like to look at it a little bit more carefully. So I'm hoping there's an opportunity to review and tweak it a little bit. But it's well on track. And I guess she, the bus ticket auditor wants to meet with us again in October. So that's another something we'll have to do down the road. And then theoretically, all agencies have to spend down all of their bus ticket allocation by the 24th of September. And we're going to be nowhere near being able to, find money for that. So we're going to have to have a subcommittee pretty soon to write what we always do, and that is a letter asking for an extension along that spend down. But it's always been granted so far.
Getting closer with FEMA, EFSB, yes, recommended amount of care, 43,300. Go ahead.
Well, that's one other thing we went over with the CCS CFO, Craig. He's on the board of the local people. And so the recommended amounts are in your packet. You'll see it's just over $33,350 to us. And that's $11,000 more than it was last year. And that's because, and I just want to repeat this, even in direct action, even short-staffed as much as we are, even under duress and attack like this, we've grown. We've performed more vet hunts of survival shelter, tents, and on the plaza here and everywhere else in our system than we did in the prior year. That's pretty remarkable, right? And FEMA pays for outdoor and indoor shelter, so that's interesting. Now, Craig said that they're going to sign on the dotted line and the contracts will probably be available next week. But pretty quick after that, we'll be able to bill for the first half of it. So that's almost $17,000. And it's a direct deposit reimbursement. So within 2 to 3 weeks of getting the first $1,000, and that's good.
Okay. County 2017 funding, 2927, we already talked about. You want to go on and add it into it? Okay. Vehicle report, anybody got anything? Claire, DHMIS, data entry survey report. Nothing on that. Law upgrade, other next step. Nothing on the law. Waiting funding, 2015 for funding, all of it is meeting this Monday. CC3 and CC4, CC4 operations are temple violence, and
Everything's going good out at the temple. We met with the rabbi yesterday. He's happy as can be. We're dealing with Pastor Todd out at the Guide Church in Redmond. Their council met last night. We should know Monday morning sometime. We have some other things that we're looking at, and we're not able to speak up. Got it in.
Well, Sam's absolutely right that we can't talk about specific locations. That's absolutely true. But people should know generally what our best options are if Pastor Todd's church isn't able to host us. And people should also know that at Kirkland Congregational Church, where Camp Unity really made a difference when they were there last. In spite of that, the pastor reported that the kind of false allegations, that the Seattle Times makes big headlines about, people like shares accountant, unqualified, was one headline, and the other one was about we had $619,000 in the bank and we weren't spending it. They still remember those falsehoods. They still remember, and that's why they're not inclined to host us. And that's really maddening and frustrating, and we have to keep on going back to that kind of stuff. These guys need to get their next place in order first, but they gotta figure out a way to push back you know, when people relying on us around the east side, doesn't have a curriculum congregational, and if Pastor Todd's church can't say yes, not specifically, but generally, there's two different ideas. One is to find somebody on the east side, a property owner in unincorporated King County, to do what Pete Sykoff in unincorporated King County down in the Skyway does with us once every year or so. And that is just let us use 10,000 square feet of land for 4 months. That's it. You know, and there's thousands of people could be doing that on the east side. Sykoff does it every year. Dad's never heard of a bid. We just got to find one of them willing to do it to solve this problem. One, you know, someplace half a mile from a bus stop. And the other thing to be considering is jazzing things up with those tiny houses. You know, Sharon Lee and Lehigh's got 30 tiny houses they want to plop down someplace. And that is sure be a glamorous thing to be doing someplace on the east side. Probably more glamorous than our simple but very movable tents behind those tiny houses. So those are two things that, you know, if anyone's got an idea on a property owner, if you got some crazy uncle on the east side, this is the time to tell it, you know. What's that?
All the funding we're talking about, DC4 being on the east side, are going to be left out.
Well, the funding that can always help the 10 cities is that FEMA, that 30,000 of FEMA plus our other unallocated stuff. But we got to do some hard bargaining with both the city and the county about encampment funding.
No, thank you, buddy.
How's it going with what speakership? Committee, W. Housing, Southern Lake, TC3 is moving right now. They're out of St. Joe's. The only thing left is the shower and the White House, the tent trailer, and it'll be gone this afternoon about 4 o'clock. The last truck left about 20 minutes ago. They called me, so everything is at the new site at what used to be St. George's Episcopal at 2214 125th Northeast in Lake City. Everything, they've got the footprint down, the structures are going up. TC4 is there giving a hand. We've got people from the church. It seems to be going well. They left with 99 people, and there's 99 people so far. As of now, no move bars have been issued as of right now. There may be a couple afterwards, but it went. They're all there, and they're all working, so that worked out. The camp, as far as the receivership, as far as I know, it's doing well. They've got elected officials. They're making their own decision. They're using elected move masters. Brand new people. These are all new campers. So they're doing pretty good. Is there somebody here from the Stu? Do you know anything? Do you have anything for receivership at all, Sam?
No, the only thing I have to say is they have improved. They still got work to do, but they've improved quite a bit. They're coming along very well.
Do you have anything from the TCC, Stu? Because I didn't go to the TCC. So skip that one. Mike Marvin did just 3 guys. I didn't go to it. Yeah, I didn't go. I do know that they've been meeting regularly with the TCC, and now that's the Kent City Collective. It's going to host them at the University of Washington this year, and they're working closely with Charlie Clark. One of the deans is professor in the music department in Hall now, so they're working it all out, what the hosting is going to be, what the funding is going to be, so that's moving forward. And the good thing about the George side is there's not going to be a gap. TC3 can stay there until the University of Washington. Before there was going to be about a month gap, so now they're going to stay right through. So that was all, that's good. Now there's not going to be a gap, we'll have to move again right to the university. Other Seattle sites, the site search is continuing to get ready for when they leave the university in April. So that's it for TC3. Okay, city sanctioned cameras at 55 every day, updated. Basically, five. We're in a little trouble with the cops. Otherwise, cameras are all right. That's not the one. We want to start to find some of the caps. I guess. The ladies didn't like it, and we got an argument about it. So the BC's tried to ask her to take it down or wash it off. She wouldn't do it. The cops were called. The cops showed up. And I think this might be a problem for everybody. Not just us. She refused to leave, and the cops said that they couldn't evict her. There's nothing they could do about it. So she's still there, even though she's been hard. And she doesn't have to move. We just don't know how we're gonna. How do we deal with stuff like that? I mean, the cops are gonna be behind this, just like people camping outside around our camp trying to defend the park. I've seen this as a problem out there. How do you get rid of these people that already been barred, but they're still camping outside of it? They're the ones contributing to the problems that we're having, reflecting on us, making us look bad. That's what I don't know. I don't know how do you deal with these types of situations?
Unfortunately, I've been dragged right into the middle of this problem. It's a problem for me. But to answer your question, I actually have an idea. See, I was here at TC6 for approximately a week and a half. And there's also several guard members coming in, and security was actually a problem. This also happened at several other shelters I've been to. Before I left to be back. So I think it should be a security to police the area. That's what we're supposed to do anyway, so we will have it. But for some reason, this girl thinks she's untouchable, that she's going to be told not to try and remove her belongings because of the bar like she was not. I think it should be a security.
Intervention was security in DC was bagging and tagging her and getting her stuff out on the sidewalk and calling it a day. Half tried that, but not 100% tried. The bigger problem is us appropriately and the first time in this spot, they're not people. So that's got to be pushed on to the precinct. It's the West Precinct. I was advised to reach out to the community police team chief first, and I did that. And he's out of town. He said he's going to take this up first thing Monday morning. So I'll keep pushing on it as a structural thing with the cops. And I also warned our partners over there at HSD in case they need to get involved to turn this around. So cops actually do what they're supposed to do, and that is help us remove people who are barred legitimately for bad behavior, as this woman. The other thing going for TC5 is the permit renewal, right? So there were snafus, can you believe it, with the bureaucracy of DPD. So they asked us to hold, and then they notified us this week that they're converting our building permit to a master use permit to ease the permitting process. So when I submitted the master use permit renewal fee, noting the renewal date that DPD thinks is our expiration date of the permit, which is May 18th, 2017, the past May 18th, 2017, they said, oh, we already converted it for you, it's in process. Thanks so much. Yeah, so our permit renewal is in process.
Anything else? Okay, Nicholsville Valor, 22nd Unit, fellow up there.
The last week in the packet was the letter from the city, accusing Nicholsville of being at risk of not getting their rent renewed because of actions, and this didn't describe the actions. They complained about a guy who said he saw some folks drinking in the park, and they're pretty harsh the way they complained about that. Then also the fellow, the case manager was still feeling restive, and they gave a woman who's righteously barred an apartment to stay in, and she's coming back and picketing the place, which I don't know, sort of odd. So that's sort of where it's at. Nicholsville's got to get a written response to the city stuff, and come to terms with the case manager. That's the short version.
Okay, anything else that's been on Nicholsville? Okay. RV camp, maybe down your site closing on 8/30th. Good.
I wish I'd remembered that I was working off the technical because that's not correct. The Yankee Diner site for RV camps closed yesterday. They closed yesterday. And we asked at a meeting we happened to be at with Lehigh about other matters, hey, what's happening? How many people are actually up there in that sanctioned RV lot? And where are they all going? Where are they going? Basically, they said standards before.
Greg, Kelly, Sam, and Frank and Stu. Committee meeting after power line. Yeah. Here, last week that meeting, this week that. Got a motion? Okay, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Okay, others.
Well, on the realty vendor, Fairfield, the meeting and reschedule again. We were going to have it last Tuesday, but most of the people who have volunteered to do this were absent. So, obviously, we did that last week, and it looks like we can't do it this Tuesday either. So would everybody interested in doing, I think most people interested in doing this are here today. So would you please come and tell me after the meeting what time is good for you? And I will get back to you.
Everybody heard that?
I just want to say that all the people who are interested in doing this are all long-time people, very steady people that you can count on to accurately represent the fair and to not give away the farm or selling or anything else. And not buy anything really.
Okay, anything else? We got a motion.
Anybody training in?
All there, you? I'll ask, sir.
Anybody? Training in? Okay.
Okay, she has a motion to adjourn on the floor. Second. Okay, meeting adjourned. Make sure you sign out, Scott, make it sign out.
Oh, my knee.
Okay, family. just made this video. Breaks my heart. Breaks my heart. The homeless, helping the homeless, the poor, loving each other as we're called to do, and serving each other as we are called to do. Are we living in those times? Matthew 24 down. Chapter 24 verse 9 down. Then they will deliver you up to tribulation and kill you, and you will be hated by all nations for my name's sake, and then many will be offended, will betray one another, and will hate one another. Okay, 11. Then many false prophets will rise up and deceive many. 12. And because lawlessness will abound, the love of many will grow cold. That's 12. Where's your love at? Where's your love at? People die without shelter. People die without shelter. Where's your love at? Please cry out to Jesus. For let's not love in words, but in truth and actions. My heart, it's broken. It aches for my brothers and sisters having to suffer. God bless you. God bless you, brothers. Okay, I'm going to keep reading. 13. But he who endures to the end shall be saved. And this gospel of the kingdom will be preached in all the world as a witness to all nations, and then the end will come. Are we living in those days? We are. Get ready. Surrender to Jesus. Revelation 3:16, because you are lukewarm, either hot or cold, I will spit you out of my mouth. Are you in that situation? You don't want that. Surrender to Jesus.
Their advance crew, they had a list. One of them was a girl in the wheelchair. One was the guy with one. I'm not shitting you. One was the guy with one eye. They had the dude, the really good dude. He's got Parkinson's. His wife was
Don't talk to anybody.
Nick, is there anybody screening in?
Supposedly Dave said yes. I'm trying to determine who that person is. Dave needs to sign the paper, but he keeps wandering around.
All right.
He's got it in his hand.
Hey, how you doing, brother?
Good to see you.
Yeah, good to see you, brother.
Yeah, have you been here this whole time, or do you leave for a while?
I leave. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I leave and come back.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, I've been working in quite different couple states.
Yeah.
So I just got back on Friday about a week ago.
Okay.
How you been?
Pretty good. Pretty good.
All right,
Busy.
let's keep on pressing forward, brother.
Busy as always.
Yeah, you're the man, bro. You're the man.
Welcome back.
Thank you. Where's people's hearts these days? Where's people's hearts these days?
You weren't even there. You don't know.
People's hearts have grown cold.
Hey, don't need to walking. Don't need to walking.
The mayor of the city of Seattle, he declared a state of emergency a couple months back, and to get federal funding for the homeless crisis here in Seattle. and nothing has been done. Shame on him. Shame on him. All right, well, I'll let you guys go. I gotta get to work. Love you guys. May the peace of the Lord be with you in Jesus' name.